Hello, I'm Nikki Newman. This is my official YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support us.
Welcome back to our channel. You guys, today is an absolutely beautiful day, but I cannot say the same for the residents of Genoa City because things just took a massive, unbelievable turn. Grab a huge cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's just dive right into the absolute chaos that just went down because I am still trying to process everything I just watched. And let me just say right off the bat, I am exhausted. Just completely emotionally exhausted by what they are putting Sally Spectra through right now. I mean, seriously. We all knew something big was coming. We saw her waiting for those test results at the clinic with Audra Charles, and we knew it was either going to be some terrible, life-threatening illness or a pregnancy. But honestly, I don't think any of us were prepared for the absolute gut punch that just happened in that doctor's office. So let's just get right into it, because my head is still spinning from this episode, and I just need to vent about it. So Sally's standing there in the clinic, right? And she is literally shaking. You can see the white paper trembling in her hands. It's that classic soap opera hospital scene where the fluorescent lights are way too bright, the walls are too sterile, and everything just feels so heavy and suffocating. She's been so incredibly scared that she has some awful disease. Billy Abbott has been pacing the floors outside, worried sick that he's going to lose her to some medical crisis just when they were finally getting their lives together. And Audra Charles, who, by the way, has been shockingly amazing through all of this, which is a whole other conversation we need to have later, is right by her side, trying to keep her grounded. And then Sally opens the envelope. She reads the results. She is not sick. She does not have a disease. She is pregnant. She is actually truly pregnant. Now, in a normal world or a normal relationship, this would be the exact moment where the romantic music swells, the lighting gets soft, and everyone cries happy tears, and for Billy. That is exactly what happens. Billy just absolutely loses it in the best way possible. He bursts into this massive, boyish smile. He is overwhelmed with happiness, and he just completely breaks down in joy. He genuinely believes that this is it. This is his fresh start. After all the mess he has caused in his life, all the failed relationships, all the reckless gambling, all the chaos with Victoria and Lily and Chelsea. He looks at Sally and he sees a clean slate. He sees redemption. He sees a future. Billy is practically planning the wedding in his head right there in the clinic. You can just see the gears turning in his eyes. He thinks they are going to get engaged, get married, have this beautiful little Abbott baby, and ride off into the sunset together. He is so blinded by his own relief and his own desperate need for a happy ending that he doesn't even look closely at Sally's face. He just assumes she is crying tears of joy too. Because why wouldn't she be, right? They dodged a massive bullet. She isn't dying. They are having a baby. It should be perfect, just perfectly soapy and romantic. But it is not perfect. It is the furthest thing from perfect. And this is where the scene just shifts and gets so incredibly dark and tense that I actually found myself holding my breath. Because while Billy is practically doing cartwheels of joy and talking about the future, Audra Charles is watching Sally. And Audra, for all her flaws and all her ruthless corporate backstabbing history, is incredibly perceptive. She knows how to read people. That's how she survives in the cutthroat business world of Genoa City. And she looks at Sally's face, and she doesn't see joy. She doesn't see relief. She sees absolute, pure, unadulterated terror. Sally looks like she has just seen a ghost. She looks like her entire world has just collapsed underneath her feet and she is free falling into a nightmare. Her eyes are wide, her breathing is shallow. She is terrified, just completely terrified. Audra realizes immediately that something is very, very wrong, so she manages to intervene. She pulls Sally aside, probably giving Billy some quick excuse about needing a minute to process the news or needing to get some water. whatever it takes to get Sally out of Billy's immediate line of sight. And as soon as they are alone, away from Billy's suffocating joy, Sally just crumbles. I mean, she completely falls apart. The tears she is crying are not happy tears at all. They are panic tears. She is hyperventilating, she is shaking worse than before, and she finally chokes out the truth to Audra in this desperate, broken whisper. And guys, when I heard this, I literally yelled at my screen. I actually yelled, because the timing of this pregnancy, it doesn't line up with Billy, or at least, it doesn't only line up with Billy. Sally confesses, sobbing uncontrollably, that the conception timeline matches up perfectly with a night she spent out of town. A night where she ran into Holden. Yes, Holden. This obsessive, intense, dark ex from her past who showed up at that out-of-town event she went to a while back. We all remember that event, right? I remember watching those episodes and thinking it was just a minor blip. A little bit of dramatic filler for the week to give Sally something to do. But no, the writers were planting a seed. A terrible, destructive, life-ruining seed. Sally slept with Holden, and the timeline is exact. There is no denying it in her mind. This baby that Billy is currently out in the hallway celebrating, this baby that he thinks is his ultimate chance at redemption. It is not an Abbott. It is Holden's baby. Just let that sink in for a minute. Let the absolute tragedy of this situation wash over you. Sally Spectra, who has been through so much hell since she arrived in town. Who lost her beautiful baby girl Ava with Adam Newman. Who grieved so deeply and so publicly, and who thought she might never get the chance to be a mother again. Now she is pregnant. Her body is actually carrying a child again. But instead of it being a miracle, instead of it being the healing moment she deserves, it is a ticking time bomb that is going to completely destroy her life. I honestly feel sick for her. I really do. Maybe I'm being too dramatic, but you guys know how much I love Sally. I have rooted for her since she came to Genoa City. Yes, she makes terrible choices. Yes, she lies and schemes and shoots herself in the foot constantly. But she has a good heart, and she just wants to be loved. She just wants a family and a safe place to land. And now she is trapped in this impossible, horrific nightmare. Because look at her options. Look at what she is facing right now as she stands in that clinic. She is standing on the edge of a massive cliff, and she has to make a choice. And both choices lead to her jumping off and crashing to the ground. Option 1, she lies. She wipes her tears, puts on a brave face, walks back out to Billy, looks him right in his hopeful, happy eyes, and she tells him that this is his baby. She lets him buy the diamond ring. She lets him plan the extravagant wedding. She lets him announce to the entire, judgmental Abbott family that they are having an heir. She carries this child for 9 months, living in constant, agonizing fear that the truth is going to come out. Because let's be real, this is Genoa City. The truth always comes out. There is always a medical emergency where they need a blood transfusion, or a random DNA test, or someone overhears a private conversation at Crimson Lights while hiding behind a potted plant. You cannot hide a secret like this forever on a soap opera. It is literally impossible. The writers will not allow it. But if she lies, she gets peace. For a little while. She gets the safety of Billy's love. She gets the family she has always desperately wanted. She gets to be protected. And honestly, a part of me understands why she would want to do that. She is exhausted from fighting. She just wants to be safe. But the guilt would eat her alive. Every single time Billy kisses her stomach, every time he talks about the baby's future, every time he buys a little onesie, she will know she is living a massive, unforgivable lie. She will know she is conning him. And then there is option 2. She tells the truth. She walks out of that clinic room right now. She stops Billy's celebration dead in its tracks, and she shatters his heart into a million tiny pieces. She tells him that she slept with her obsessive ex Holden, and that the baby isn't his. Can you even imagine what that would do to Billy? He's already so incredibly fragile. He is always teetering on the edge of a breakdown, trying to convince everyone that he is finally stable. This would push him right over the edge. He would spiral. He would probably go right back to his worst habits, back to the gambling, back to the drinking, back to the reckless behavior. He would feel so betrayed, so deeply humiliated. He thought Sally was different. He thought they were building something real and honest. To find out that she cheated on him, and that the baby he just spent the last 20 minutes crying happy tears over isn't his, it would destroy him completely. But wait, it gets worse, because it's not just Billy she has to worry about. It's the entire Abbott family, and this is where the stakes get astronomically high for Sally. Let's talk about the Abbotts for a second, because they are an absolute, terrifying mess right now. Jack Abbott is currently losing his mind. His marriage to Diane Jenkins is completely crumbling. Diane caught Jack hugging Nikki Newman, which, by the way, Nikki really needs to mind her own business and stay away from Jack. But whatever, that's Nikki for you, and now Diane is out for blood. Diane has literally teamed up with Victor Newman to destroy Jack. Let me repeat that. Diane is so vengeful and paranoid that she is working with the devil himself, Victor Newman, to ruin her own husband. And on top of that, Patty Williams is back in town. Patty Williams, who has a history of violence and mental instability, is exploiting the chaos and causing even more trouble for Jack. The Abbott family is under siege from all sides. They are stressed, they are angry, they are paranoid, and they are not in a forgiving mood. So imagine, just imagine, is Sally Spectre a woman they already don't trust? A woman who has a history of scheming. A woman who used to be involved with their enemy Adam Newman. Imagine if she brings a fake Abbott baby into this family. Imagine if she lets them believe this child is part of their legacy, part of their bloodline, and then the truth comes out later. The wrath of the Abbott family would be biblical. Jack would absolutely destroy her. He would use every ounce of his power, his money, and his influence to run her out of town. Kyle would be ruthless. Summer would laugh in her face and make sure she never worked in the fashion industry again. The Abbotts would completely annihilate Sally Spectre. They would see this as the ultimate betrayal, the ultimate con. They would think she did it on purpose to secure the Abbott fortune and trap Billy. They wouldn't care that she was just scared. They wouldn't care that she made a mistake in a moment of weakness with Holden. They wouldn't care about her trauma with losing Ava. They would only see a gold digger who tried to trick their family. They would ruin her life. So Sally is trapped. She is so utterly trapped. And honestly, I don't know what I would do in her shoes. Okay, that sounded dramatic because I would never sleep with an obsessive ex, but you get what I mean. It is a no-win situation. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And can we just talk about Audra for a minute? I have to give credit where credit is due, even though it pains me a little. I have hated Audra in the past. We all have. She is a ruthless, cold-hearted corporate shark who usually only cares about herself and her bank account. But in this storyline, she has been a rock. She has been a genuine, empathetic friend to Sally, seeing Audra hold Sally while she cries, seeing Audra actually care about someone else's pain and terror. It's a really beautiful piece of character development. I hope the writers don't ruin it. I hope Audra helps Sally figure this out, because Sally absolutely cannot do this alone. She needs an ally. She needs someone who can think logically and coldly, because Sally is purely operating on emotion and panic right now. Maybe Audra will tell her to lie. Honestly, Audra is pragmatic. Audra might look at the situation and say, Sally, take the Abbott money, take the secure life, marry Billy, and we will deal with the paternity later. We will figure it out. Audra knows how to keep a secret. Audra knows how to manipulate a situation. Could Audra be the one to help Sally fake a DNA test if it comes down to it? Absolutely. Audra would totally do that. She would see it as a necessary business move to secure Sally's position. But should they? No, of course not. It never works. It literally never works on this show. The truth will come out. It always does. And what about Holden? We cannot forget about Holden. This guy is an obsessive ex. If he finds out Sally is pregnant, do we really think he is just going to stay away? No way. He is going to come to Genoa City. He is going to demand a paternity test. He is going to stalk her. He is going to blow up her life anyway. So even if she lies to Billy, even if she fools the Abbotts, Holden is going to be the massive wild card that ruins everything. He is the storm on the horizon, and Sally is just standing there waiting to get struck by lightning. I am just so stressed out for her. I wanted Sally to have a win. I really did. I wanted her to be happy. After losing Ava, after the whole messy, heartbreaking triangle with Adam and Nick, she deserved a little bit of peace. And for a second there, when Billy smiled in that clinic, I thought maybe she would get it. I thought maybe the writers were finally going to let her breathe. But this is the young and the restless. Nobody gets peace, especially not Sally Spectra. They just love to torture her. So what do you guys think? What is she going to do? Is she going to walk out of that room, wipe her tears, and lie to Billy's face? Is she going to let him put a ring on her finger while carrying another man's baby? Or is she going to break his heart right now, confess everything, and face the music? Let me know in the comments because I am going to be obsessing over this until the next episode airs. I swear this show is going to give me an ulcer with all this stress, but I can't stop watching. I just can't. We will see what happens next week, but buckle up, everyone, because it is going to be a very, very bumpy ride.